Now recording.
Beep boop beep.
Beep boop bop beep 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 bop bop boop beep bop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Just doing some scatting, scooty bop bop, shooty bop bop. It's really loud. Beat up, poop poop pee 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 poop pee 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 poop poop shooty poop 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 poop. We're having a scat off. No?
No.
Boo. All right, are you ready?
I mean, I guess.
All right.
Everybody, welcome back to the podcast.
My name is Judy Ribbons.
My name is Keep the Babu Babu Boo Boo Da Da Doo Do.
My name is Joe Dutton.
My name is John Dutton, and this is Yellowstone. I don't know why Kevin Costner has to sound like that.
Yeah, that's
Like
the
they intentionally
intro.
said, all right, your character trait is you can't raise your voice over a soft whisper, but you're always shouting.
And here's to the beginning.
I'll drink to that.
Why, Johnny Ringo.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can change it at any time.
I'm your huckleberry.
Outlaw loose and running came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip.
Incoming the Ramblin podcast with your hosts, Conway Stoney and Stoney Robbins.
Howdy, folks.
I'm John Dutton.
Howdy, folks. And welcome back to another episode of the Ramblin podcast. I'm your host, Conway Titty.
And I'm John Dutton. Also known as Stoney Robbins.
And welcome back to episode 11. We are rocking and rolling and trolling our way through
John
these-
Dutton.
Stop. We are trolling our way through these episodes, and they're just gonna get weirder at this point, I believe. I think they're gonna be on a continuous downhill.
Well, unless these idiots stop listening to us, then we'll.
It'll just
But
be
until then, we're gonna keep doing what we want to do.
it's gonna be complete chaos. But our podcaster Spotify Wrap came out for us, and we really do appreciate y'all listening. I can't talk today.
Words are hard.
We appreciate y'all listening to us. We have, I think we have like 5 different countries now that it said that we're listening, that are listeners of, which is pretty cool. Technically an international podcast at this point, which is wicked. And I'm very excited to see, since we did start in September, I'm very excited to see how a full year is going to be and to watch it kind of grow and develop more into something that is playable and has, at least 50 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always, like I said, the statistics of a podcast, it's very hard to get past those first 7 episodes. Like, normally
Yeah, we're at 10.
we're at 11 now.
Yeah.
Normally people don't make it past 7. They kind of just give up on the podcast or stop. But we're finding ways to keep it entertaining for ourselves, because this podcast isn't really like necessarily all about information. It's not necessarily all about gossip stuff. It doesn't really have a theme. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like consistently listening to albums or records or talking about musicians. We're not talking about true crime. We're not talking about like, just a certain hobby or anything like that. It is very random, and hence the Ramblin' part of the whole entire thing. So it is nice to see that every week is different, and sometimes it's the same, depending on if we do two-parters. But I'm looking forward to kind of doing more things that, are kind of like our deep sea podcast and kind of like our space podcast, where we kind of, every once in a while we throw in some informational uh and visual parts of us, and I do enjoy that. But I think Stone and I like more than anything is to be completely unhinged and spewing
Chaos.
spewing
I
chaos.
want pictures of the Spider-Man.
And just giving y'all that shit too. So, yeah, we like I said, we still have a big list we go through, and every week we stare at that list and we're like, we are not feeling any of this shit right now. Or it's something we kind of just talked about, so we're kind of making sure that things are spaced out and it's not just like, let's talk about sex every week. Every week is about buttholes and weenie holes. You know what I mean?
Buttholes and weenie holes.
Yeah, all the holes.
Buttholes.
Ear holes.
The buttholes.
The buttholes. But yeah, it's I don't want to talk about sex all the time with you. Like, that's what we do for a living. We sex. We sex.
We have the sex.
You do sex?
I do sex fun time.
Love-
Open cloth show bobs.
Low bobs? Bobs?
Oh,
Sex?
sexy sex.
Ooh, sexy sex bobs. Bobs for you? Show bobs? Show bobs?
I use my 11-foot peenie
For you?
for you.
Show bobs?
Show bobs, please.
But yeah, I don't want to talk about that every time. I think we have a lot more stupid shit we can talk about besides that. But I get it, because it's like we do it for a living. I've been doing it for so long. People are curious about questions, especially if they don't do it or they have no clue about anything. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
I mean, I get it.
But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I would rather talk about the things that we want to talk about and
Mhm.
enjoy that. So that kind of brings us to what today's topic's going to be about. We stared at that list and we were like, I don't want to fucking do any of this. And you were like, no. So I was like, what if we just asked hypothetical questions and you guys just listen to us? Listen to, mainly Stoney's conspiracies
I have a
about
lot of
some
them.
about some of these questions. And yes, in the future he will have his own conspiracy episode all by himself.
Yeah, unhinged, and you guys have to listen to me babble on like a lunatic, and we're gonna listen to music.
Yes, it'll be Stoney's maybe 1 or 2 episodes of just him aliens. But yeah, I thought today we could just ask hypothetical questions and just see what. I haven't really looked at these at all, and you don't know any of these questions, so I figured it'd be fun to kind of get our creative brains going. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, all right. Sorry, I feel like I gotta burp, throw up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just like stuck in your throat, and you're just like, but you're like, wait, that's a burp, I think. No?
No.
Okay. All right. So I did tell you the very first question because I was like, hey, I wanted to see if this would be okay to do. So you do know the first question, but I don't even think you remember it because I did tell you like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. All right. Our very first kind of what
Forced.
ifs are forced. Jesus, this is gonna be a rough episode.
I'm just gonna keep bullying you the whole episode.
Our very first question, like I said, these are all what ifs, hypotheticals, and we're gonna kind of let our minds unbox. And it's kind of like I said, it's gonna let Stoney be a little unhinged, and as unhinged as he wants to be.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so Stoney,
Yes.
what if you could live for 200 years? We live for about maybe 100 years. Some
If
people
you're
get
lucky.
Some people get lucky to live to 100. What if we, like, the average was like
Doubled?
173? What if instead of like 73 years old, like what if everyone lived to 170?
Well, okay. First and foremost,
To
I'm gonna start off.
200.
I'm gonna start off by saying, thank God that doesn't exist because it's already shit whenever you have 80-year-olds trying to lead a country.
Yeah, no, I mean it in the aspect of
So
like,
imagine a 180-year-old trying to lead a country.
yeah, no, I don't mean it like that because like remember terms still exist, it would still be taken off. You couldn't work past
I
that. But I'm
feel like
thinking
if we
like,
lived for 200 years, there definitely would not be the same term limits that we have now.
but let's also branch off into that. If you could live to 200 years old, or let's say 180, right? You live to
Mhm.
180 years old, but your body stops getting old at 80. So you have another 100 years of you just being 80
Of
years
being an
old.
80-year-old? Fuck that. No. No. Miss me with that. Imagine living to be 190, but you've spent like I guess it'd be what 110 years as an 80-year-old.
I mean,
Fuck no.
there's some 80-year-olds
There
who are
is
in
no. Fuck
shape.
no. Fuck no. Fuck no.
Okay, what about 60?
No.
Well, how
Like
dare you? There's a lot of hot 60 year
no, no,
olds
no,
out
no, no,
there.
no, no. I'm saying like if you want this to be viable, we would consider like your 20s, your 30s. That would be like a 40-year period where
Yeah,
you would
okay,
only be
okay.
like a 20-year-old. Like it would have to be like the cycles of life that you go through would have to be extremely longer.
Okay,
So
so
like your
say
infant stage would be like say 3 years. And like your toddler stage would be from like 3 to 10.
yeah, say everything's like tripled, right? So like
Yeah.
whatever, you stay the age of, for example, 25 for 3 years.
So in order to live longer, you'd have to be younger for longer.
In a sense, yes. But let's hypothetically say you are 60 years old, which is still there's a lot of people who are 60 in great shape. Hello. Like
Yeah,
half
that's
of you is
fair, but still, we're talking about the majority of people, and the majority of people at 60 are bags of shit.
Yeah, but let's say like well, they're not. Say we're in great shape. We're some nice 60-year-olds because there's some really awesome older actors that in their
It's
60s that you're like,
nice 60-year-olds.
holy fuck, I didn't even know they were 60. They look insane. Like Cher is fucking 70 something and she's insanely great. She has no problems with pretty much anything. You know what I mean? So like,
Right,
let's say that for example, say you're in that like good of shape, you've kept your body good, you've been doing your skincare, you've been, not even, eating decently and you've just been taking care of yourself, right?
right.
So your body is technically never going to age after the point of 60, and you
Okay.
have to live for another 120 years. How do you think that would be viewed? Like what? Because everything there's so much that has happened just even from like let's say 1925 to 2025.
Mhm.
There's so much of a huge technological difference, humanity difference. What do you think living say now and then adding another 100 years on top, what do you think that even fucking looks like?
Well, I mean, we'd probably be about 1,000 years more advanced. Because
In a
just
sense.
purely off the point of if everybody lives a lot longer, that means the people who've had these, monumental, life-changing, world-changing inventions would have a lot more of them probably. Everything would be a lot more advanced because you have those people that have made world-changing things happen would have a lot more of them.
What do you think it would feel like to live that long? Because we've been alive for 20 plus years already.
Right.
Intelligently to where we can remember at least since we were like 5, right? For example, let's say that. So we've been alive for 2 decades. There's people who are way older than us that have been alive for decades. Um and that's to me exhausting, but I couldn't imagine living another 100 plus years and having to go through all of these like insane events that have already happened in our like little lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like not only I don't like I see the world doing a pendulum swing. Like I see the world on its way to getting better society wise to where people are a little bit more understanding and everything's normal that's not normal now, right?
Sure.
But then I see the pendulum swinging all the way back to it being, it's just a constant cycle of like, that's not normal. And now it is normal. That's not normal. It is normal. That's not normal. It is normal. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like in that, if we live to, 160 more years, say we're 20 now, in our 20s, we live 160 more years, that pendulum, I would say, would swing back once or twice just in our little time, you
Probably.
know? And like I said, even just looking back from the 1920s to the 2020s, that is so fucking insane
Yeah.
to think about, especially people that are 100 right now. That's insane. I couldn't imagine living like these people are 100, living another 100 years, going from no technology to like what else is there going to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it's kind of hard to even wrap our brains around it because we always like when people in the past talked about the future, they were like, "Oh, flying cars, video, phones," and it's like, not things in our pocket. It was like these, telephones on the wall that had a video camera point out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Um
it's like now we just have computers in our pockets.
yeah, and it's kind of insane to even think that we've advanced so much in technology in just 20 years from the internet starting. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
say, mid 90s on, the advancement of internet with the social medias, with the collective minds and information that we all have now, right?
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my brain around what it'll look like beyond because we're in such a new part of it. Does that make sense?
I mean, kind of.
Like the internet is still so new when you think about it.
Well, yeah, and if you're talking about the grand scheme of like human history, yeah, it's pretty new. It's only
Yeah,
like
that's
30
that's what
years
I'm
old.
saying is like I can't imagine what it's going to look like when it's like it's considered advanced and like our time frame is old internet because remember dial up, that's old internet. You know
Yeah,
what
and
I'm
that was just
saying?
in the 90s.
And yes, and that's what blows my mind is like it's so new that it is so hard to look 100 years in the future of what internet's gonna look like 100 years from now.
Yeah, because you can look back 30 years and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, isn't that it's truly hard to wrap your mind around even thinking of like, hey, if we ask this question, how could you explain it? Or what would your even like creative mind be? I'm like, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know because it's so new. It's not like we have tons of information on it or what it would look like 50 plus 60 plus years from now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like we don't have that yet. And that's what's insane. It's like now we do have self-driving cars. We don't have flying cars completely yet to everyone, but we have self-driving cars in a sense. Not completely self-driving, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's like the only way I could probably think of what the future would look like is like iRobot, where literally everything is automated.
Yeah.
That's all I would be able to see because that's how everyone views it, it seems like. That's like the only track that humanity is looking towards is having everything automated and we don't have to talk to humans if we don't want to.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And that's how I view 100 years from now. Like that's insane. Like really, that's insane. And then say 100 years from now, we still have like 60 more years to live after that.
Sure
So
do.
imagine getting to a fully automated system and then having to live 60 years more of that as an elder in the like I just
It'd probably be a lot easier, honestly.
but also being the first generation to grow up with all technology.
Yeah, that'd be kind of strange. Like a
You
baby
know what I
born
mean?
like it right at like the start of the 2000s or like right at the end of the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Or
kind of getting
or
at is
even
like
like you could go like 2005 because like after that,
end of 80s, early 90s. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like let's just say that. Say like beginning of the 90s. It blows my mind to think about that because it is such a no one before us has had this technology and advanced. We are the start of everything advancing. So seeing what technology is now and like even just when we're going to be 80, seeing technology, 60 years from now. That's even hard cuz like I said we've grown so quickly in, less than 2 decades.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
we literally went from, like think about our fucking Razor phones and the flip phones that everyone was carrying around, and it's like,
So now
boom,
everyone's
ta-da, we
getting a
have touch
computer.
screens, and
Yeah.
we literally have high-speed everything. Like I said, the only thing I can see on my personal side is I only view the world as getting more automated and getting where you're not gonna see as much green as there should be.
Right.
So, is that kinda how you view
Yeah, I
is
mean,
the
like I
answer.
told you know how I feel about it. I think everything is gonna end up like Wally.
That we're gonna get so far advanced and so used to shit in our face and on screen that we're not gonna see the world for what it is.
Correct.
I also think so. I mean, like, it even shown with the pandemic happening that everyone was so, which we had to be, we all had to be kind of virtual, but it kind of gave a small taste of like people were going on dates over FaceTimes and stuff because they weren't allowed to go interact. People were solely only interacting with other people through the digital space.
Yep.
I mean, that's still common and everything. Like, it makes sense, but it's like it's gonna get to the point to where we're not even communicating.
Yeah, everything's just gonna be like on Wally,
Like, it's
where
gonna
we
be,
all
it's
just float
yeah,
around in giant chairs and everything's right in your face. You
and
don't
it'll
see
be
anything
weird
outside
to
you.
touch another human. It'll be weird to actually see another human in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's insane. All right. Next question. If you could be any animal, what would it be?
Hmm.
Literally, a what if you could be any animal? Any animal.
I don't know. I always go back and forth with this one because part of me is like something that could fly. Other parts of me is like, I don't know, something cool, like a giraffe would be dope.
You just neck fighting.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Slamming my neck against other males to see if I'm eligible for mating. What about you?
Well, I know what I'd be. I go back and forth between two things because it depends on like I said, you also don't want to be an animal that commonly gets killed
Yeah.
or an animal that isn't necessarily a pet, you know?
Galapagos tortoise.
Like I think I would be something in the ocean that lives for a long time, right? Like
Yeah.
you said, tortoises or sea turtles or giant stingrays or something like that. But then again, I'm like, well, I could be like I would be a bison if I could, but I would be a bison on a ranch that's living as like a sanctuary ranch. You know what I mean? Like I
Sure.
wouldn't want to be like a regular cow that's just in a mass produced enterprise
Right.
from those really corrupt giant mega $1 million farms that are slaughterhouses. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I wouldn't want to be that. Um and I was gonna say possum at first, but then I was thinking, like I said, I think about I don't want to be an animal that dies all the time. People run them over all the time.
Yeah.
But I'd be like someone's possum pet.
That's
That's
fair.
I would be I would want if I was an animal, I'd want to be a pet or I'd want to be something that's not touched or seen very often.
Right.
In a sense by humans. Like I would have my own little fishy world and under the ocean and stuff, but like humans
Under the
wouldn't,
sea.
you know what I mean? Like humans wouldn't be able to just grab me and go.
Yeah.
So, what if you could only live somewhere that was above 120 degrees or always below freezing, like Antarctica temperatures? Like
Um,
negative, what is it, negative 30 or something like that?
it depends on. Yeah, it just depends on a lot of stuff. Well, as somebody who has lived in an environment that's over 120, I can tell you it fucking sucks. Now, with that being said, being somewhere extremely cold, I've also been, and that also sucks. They both equally suck.
Yeah, that's what
You've
I'm
got
saying.
some goods and bads,
Would you
but
rather be completely in like negative sub-zero temperatures basically, right?
mhm,
Or somewhere where it's so fucking hot all of the time? The hottest
I
place on earth or the coldest place on earth,
see
basically.
that's a hard one, and I have to give you my pros and cons. Okay, pros of hottest place. Okay, you don't have to deal with cold. That's a huge, huge pro. You don't have to deal with fog usually. You don't have to deal with rain usually because it's doesn't rain very often. But depending on where you're at, you have to deal with things like sandstorms, and you have to deal with the fact that there is nothing growing.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard. Now, if you go ultimately like really cold, you kind of have some of the same stuff. You have like polar night. You're in darkness for 6 months out of the year.
Exactly.
So it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, and you have nothing but sunlight on the opposite side of it. So it's really hard to make that choice, and I guess it kind of comes down to, would you rather be cold or would you rather be hot? Because you've got, like, in the hot places, you can only take off so much clothing before you're just naked.
Yes, yeah.
You can't take off your skin. You can't do anything about it when you're that hot. You just have to suffer. And the worst part is if you're in the sun, you basically can just die. Now, if you're in the winter, you can always put more stuff on.
Yes.
But I think it does come down to, there's a certain limit before it just doesn't do anything anymore.
Yes.
But with the technology advances, like they've got heated jackets and stuff now, I think the cold would be easier.
I will also agree. I would much rather live in freezing cold than super 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 hot. For one, it's like I don't do well in our weather that we have now,
Doesn't
and
do
it gets
well if
like
it gets above 90 degrees. She gets
n-
cranky.
no, it's like 110 most of the time. That's how it was all summer. Plus, I don't do well in that weather because I feel like all I want to do is stay inside, but the sun is like tempting you to come out. But also, I have very sensitive skin, so I sunburn so fucking easily. Being somewhere where it's hot all the time would be too miserable
Yeah.
for me. Like I would die from getting blisters and sun skin cancer first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being somewhere freezing, you have the option to be outside if you want to, but you still can have your warm kind of bubble that you can change the temperatures from being warm to slightly colder.
Correct.
And that's why I enjoy the winter so much. It's like, granted, if you're living in these freezing temperatures, the only time you can go outside is if you're layered up and stuff, but at least you're able to go outside without feeling like, oh my God, my skin is literally going to peel off of me. Right?
Right.
You are still able to have different buildings for things to grow in because
Yep.
of the soil's still perfectly decent and it gets to a level. You're always going to have water.
Yeah, you're never not gonna have water, especially if you're somewhere with snow.
And that's why I feel like that's so much better than a completely dry, deserted area because of
Yeah, I'm
that
right there with
reason.
you.
It, it's
I agree.
It's I can't deal with super hot temperatures. I just really don't like being in super hot temperatures because it gets to the point, like I said, where, Stoney did say, I do get cranky. Like, I get so overwhelmed with I can't regulate my body temperature that it's all I can think about. And it makes it very hard for me to distract myself to not think about it, and it gets really frustrating. So, like, sometimes in the summers and stuff, it's like I'm wearing, long sleeves and long pants
Hmm.
because it's just more comfortable for me than it is to, like, wear shorts and a tank top, and I can feel my thigh sweat dripping down me. And when you're wearing pants, that thigh sweat just goes right into the material. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel as much on my body if I was in colder climates. Because, like I said, you could warm up, you could cool down, you could kind of teeter back and forth. You're still going to be able to survive with foods, whether you have a building that can, still have foods with the sun. If you have a building like a greenhouse, for example, but you're at 120-degree temperatures, that thing's going to get too hot to even grow anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can kind of keep it. I don't know. I think it'd be so much easier just to deal with cold than hot. Like,
Yeah.
I'm loving the weathers that we have now. Like, it's great. I don't mind the snow. I don't mind any of that, but, like, God, fucking summers suck ass.
Yeah. I agree.
And then especially when, like, we live in the South where everything's just muggy and
Hmm.
thick, and it's not like, a western kinda dry heat.
Yeah.
It's just it's thick and muggy here all the time. And I feel bad for the people that live in the, southern more south than we do, because 'cause I've lived there before. It's fucking a wet blanket all of the time.
Yeah.
All of the time. Alright, let's see. What if you could read minds?
I would probably try to create something that would allow me to not do that.
How about no? What would you use it for?
Well, I mean, probably to for logical purposes, to understand someone better, probably.
Aren't you so sweet?
Well, I mean, it's one thing to tell somebody what you're thinking, but it's another thing to know exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah. I feel like that would be definitely a double-edged sword of like.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would also agree with you of creating some mechanism that you could filter out, or like you could like touch your temple and it only focuses on the person that's right in front of you, or like you're looking at someone and you want them to read their minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have to be.
Um,
It would definitely have to be like a.
I would use it for monetary value.
Yeah.
I would use it to where I would do some sort of game or something, and I would know like, oh, that's the player's next move.
Yeah.
And then, or like, oh, that I'm gonna
That's
gamble, like I'm going gambling or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that, like playing like poker, for example, and you're like, oh, that person has this.
yeah.
So, imagine if that was how it was, and all poker players had to not only have a poker face, but had to have a poker mind.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have just no thoughts. You just staring at them, and there's no thoughts coming out of it, and you're like, fuck, can't read their card deck. On to the next. Like, I would do it in a way to where I would gain something monetarily, gain some money from it.
Yeah.
If I had to be burdened with the aspect of being able to have to listen to everyone all the time. I also think it would not be fun in a neurotypical society. I don't think it'd be
No,
fun at
definitely
all.
not.
Imagine like just kind of doing normal things and then you just hear somebody's thoughts that's near you. Like say it's like a radius, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, for example, like say you're going to buy a home or something and you have
Right.
the realtor and you're hearing like all of her thoughts or their thoughts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be rough.
And she's just like, this house is awful. And you're like, oh, and she's like trying to up, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically like the salesman thing. Say someone's selling you something and you can hear that it's just absolute shit.
Yeah.
Oh, poor MLMs, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think that would be hard, like I said, in the neurotypical world of just hearing people lie through their teeth when you really know what they're actually thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that would be really hard.
Yeah, it would be kind of hard because you would know everything all the time, basically.
So this one's kind of a fear. I know I've had this dream before. A lot of other people have had this dream. It's a very common dream, which is insane that a lot of us have a lot of the same dreams, for one. That's side note. This one says, what if you were dreaming about your teeth falling out and you woke up to find out that they did?
Oh no, that'd be rough.
You know what I mean? You know those dreams where it's like your teeth like shatter or something?
No, I don't
Um,
have those.
oh my god. I know a lot of people have these dreams, you guys. Shout out to you guys. I have a dream every once in a while. It like means something. I have my dream book. Um, but it's like all of a sudden your teeth it's either sometimes your teeth will crack and then they just chip away and fall out, or they completely fall out as like whole teeth, right? And then you have
Ew.
no teeth, and then you like wake up and you're like, oh my god, like it is a very, every time I have it, it is a very uh very vivid dream, and that's from a lot of other people too. Like it's always a very vivid dream because you can feel it, like you can actually feel, it seems like you can feel your gums, and there's nothing wrong with having no teeth at all because we are so advanced in dentistry as well that it's like there's literally, you could redo a whole mouth if you wanted to. So if I woke up from that dream and my teeth were actually out of my body, I would be so scared to dream from then on out.
Yeah, I would too.
Like I don't think I would care so much about my teeth being out of my body, right?
Right.
I would be more scared of like, it's like Nightmare on Elm Street. You fall asleep, that shit's real. Like I would be so scared to have a negative dream again. It'd be great if it was like a lottery dream, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're winning a bunch of money, but like the feeling that you have, and like I said, if you've never had that dream, so you don't understand, but there's people out there who have. It's like you've had vivid dreams and you understand when you wake up, it feels so real.
Yes.
But it's like it literally feels like you're touching your gums. And I don't know how to explain it, but your teeth are there. Like it's so like a weird feeling. And then you also can feel the teeth falling out like one by one all at the same time, or shattering or cracking or whatever they're doing. It's like it's so intense. So like I couldn't imagine waking up and my like you just have that everywhere, because like I said, I would be scared to dream again. I wouldn't even be scared. I'd be like, oh, I'll go get my teeth fixed, go get dentures, whatever, no big deal, right?
Right.
It would mainly just be, holy fuck, what's tomorrow's dream gonna be about?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, this is a Glee type question. What if we had to sing our conversations?
Well, they don't say what style you have to sing in, so
How would you, okay, let's ask that again for Stoney because he seems like he wants to give us a sample. If you had to sing your conversations, what style conversations would you sing in?
metal,
You would just be like straight up,
screaming, yeah,
yeah,
screamo or like deathcore,
growling. And everyone's like,
shit like that.
the mic couldn't even understand that. I feel so John Dutton core. John Dutton core. I would choose to do like a transatlantic kind of talk
I
through.
like to sing song like this.
Yeah, like a transatlantic kind of talk through voice. Like I'm like not Sinatra singing, but when he's talking, where he's just like it's like a Bing Crosby talk sing. La la,
You are under my skin.
da da da. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily sing.
I've got you.
That's singing, but I meant more of like
You said singing the conversations, so
yeah.
you would
I
have to
mean, but
sing
it
the
would be sing
conversations.
talking. It'd be sing talking. So it would be
No, that's
mainly
just spoken word, and that completely defies the question. You can't
no.
do
It's
that.
not
Yes, that
spoken word
does.
because you're
That
still doing because you're still doing an influx on stuff. So, but it
it's,
wouldn't just be
no,
like I
doesn't
wouldn't
count.
be just singing opera out my ass. That would be
Doesn't count.
horrifying.
You have to
Imagine
sing
the people
something.
that really like singing and they're like, "Oh my god, I would love to sing conversations.
Ew, weirdos.
I would love to sing conversations. I love singing." And they sing and it sounds like a cat scratching its butthole. Just ugh. I'm imagining like Warren Zevers type people who are like they have to sing to me, but since they're country, like air quotes, since they're country, everyone with a twang would just sound like every shitty
Twangier.
pop country band. Like imagine that would be horrendous. The South, if everyone had to sing in conversation, everyone would be millionaire because they would have so many views and so many fans because that's all the world seems to understand what country is snap beat Nashville trash. Imagine. But technically, time out. Here's another thing to add to this. If everyone's singing wouldn't be popular, right?
Correct.
Because they'd just be talking.
Yeah, exactly.
What
So
if
there wouldn't
someone
necessarily
could
be
talk?
sung music.
What if talking became the new singing? Like you could be a bajillionaire from just your talking voice. Like you could imitate a talking voice so well because everyone sings. And it's like, how do you do that?
So
You're just
talking would be
talking.
like the cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. Say for example, like, you have Christina Aguilera
The world
sings,
talker.
right? But she's like the world's greatest talker in a sense, right? Imagine Mariah Carey singing All I Want for Christmas, but it's talking. And it's so popular because of
All
it.
I want for Christmas
Nope,
is
you're
you.
still singing. All I want for
All
Christmas
I want for Christmas is you.
is you.
But what about the ooh, all that stuff?
Ooh, 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 ooh,
Ooh,
ooh. It's just
ooh, 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 ooh.
it's just pronouncing vowels. A-E-I-O-U. Ooh, I. Instead of like a vibrato or anything. Like that would be intense.
Later, turd nuggets.
Adios, turd nuggets.
For those of you who don't know what we're referring to,
Don't tell them. They're not if
don't
you
tell
don't
them.
know, yeah, don't tell them. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, sorry. Get educated. We're not gonna tell you. You'll just have to
They're
figure it
not
out.
hookers. They're massage therapists.
They're massage therapist.
Don't massage your cock for money.
What's another word for that?
Oh, I think
Hookers.
it's hooker. You're a hooker.
You're a hooker.
God, I love that movie.
What if you were a type of candy? What candy would you be? Time out. Let me answer this first, Tony. Sony would be exactly what type of candy Sony would be. He would be a wrapped up some sort of old timey candy in some 83-year-old's overalls that is
No,
mixed in
not
with
overalls. I would be in the candy bowl.
No, you would be in their pocket along with the other 30 pennies that they have in change and some like crumpled up dollar bills. You would just be in an old 83-year-old's man next to his snot rag
In his overalls.
in his overalls, and he's like, yummy. That
Okay,
would
now,
be the
so for some context, the reason why is because I like things like Werther's Originals, Lemon Heads, Gobstoppers, bottle caps, Necco wafers. I like old people candy.
Stoney,
Specifically the strawberry candies that are wrapped in the paper
the
that make
strawberry
it look like a
creams.
strawberry.
Yes,
Or
those strawberry candies are good. I'll agree
like
with
at
that.
the holiday times, you know how you can get those cardboard tubes of like hard candies? That's my shit. I'll buy like 3 of those as soon as they're on the shelves.
Stoney is a 1920s Victorian child
No,
who
I'm not Victorian.
only got the hard candies for Christmas.
Well, you can get 4 for a shilling.
Like it's literally what that's
Then
you.
on the other side, I also like things like nerd ropes. Like I fucking love nerd ropes.
I like how I said 1920s when I meant like 1800s Victorian.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Someone's gonna correct me later, so I'd rather correct myself. Yeah, Stoney is a little Victorian boy who's like, "Ooh, I've got candy for Christmas. What candy do I have?
Candy, only cold.
What candy do I have?" And it's like, "Oh, I got a really hard caramel. Ooh, I got another cinnamon candy. Ooh, another
this one is whorehound flavor.
Yeah, ooh, an elderberry, wild berry super licorice candy."
Yeah, I really like hard candy.
Like he's fucking
that's an understatement. They don't know.
He would be Willy Wonka, but 1950s only. No chocolate, hard candy.
Well,
Only
yeah,
hard
I
candy.
mean, the first Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory came out around then, so that'd be perfect for me.
Yeah, you just no chocolate though. You wouldn't be a chocolatier.
Yeah.
So what's specific?
When did Willy Wonka come out? It's gotta be like the 70s, I think.
Yeah, it was the 70s because it had Gene Wilder with it.
Yeah.
So what specific candy, if you had to choose one between the millions that you like? I just said he
It was
would be specifically
1971, so it was like right at the beginning of the 70s.
I specifically said that you would be in some 83-year-old
Can we watch
pocket.
that after?
No, I fucking hate that movie.
I love that movie. And I haven't seen it
hate
in a long time.
Well, you can watch it to yourself because I hate Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Why?
It's so obnoxiously just dumb, and I've seen it too many times, and it's just
It's a musical.
Like
I think that's why I like it.
I know, but you don't like certain musicals. I
No,
love
but
musicals.
I love musicals, just not the stupid ones that you like. Like Les Mis, dumb, terrible, hate it.
You know how many people are gonna be like,
Let them.
How dare you, Stoney?
They can get my hot takes on stupid musicals. Les Mis,
Okay.
dumb. Burlesque, stupid.
Burlesque is stupid.
Rock of
Chicago,
Ages, hilarious but stupid. Only because
Chicago,
Tom
the
Cruise
best.
is fat in it.
The Chicago, the
yeah,
best.
No, not great.
How? You've never even seen it. You have
Yes,
never
I
seen
have.
Chicago.
I was a show choir kid. Of course I've seen Chicago, you loser.
I literally asked you like a couple months ago because I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna watch Chicago," and you're like, "I've never seen it," and I was like, "What?"
That was not me.
And
I was like, your other boyfriends or
"Yeah,
something. Not me.
okay." Sony has short-term memory loss, guys. Let's also take that into account. That he literally forgets shit all of the time.
But no, I've definitely seen Chicago.
Then you would know
Chicago.
Really
I've seen Rent. I've seen.
So who's in Chicago then? If you've seen Chicago,
dude, I haven't seen it in like 18 years.
That's what I was saying. You said it was bad when you were like younger. You need to watch it now.
It's probably still going to be bad to me because it's probably really dumb musical dumb.
It's really not. It's one of the best musicals ever made. It's not like we're watching Oklahoma.
False.
You know what I mean?
That's false. The best musical ever made is Sweeney Todd. And you can catch these hands. You can
To
catch these
you.
hands. Sweeney Todd is the best musical.
Tony's Broadway and musical experience is very crappy. Let's
Well,
just
I
put
don't
it
really
there.
care for Broadway that much. Like, I mean, I don't mind a play,
That's
but I'm
what that's
not
what
gonna pay
musicals
like
are.
$400 to go watch a
You
play, if
don't
that makes
gotta
sense.
pay $400 to watch a play. What?
On Broadway?
Yes, do you live in the, like, 1950s where everyone dressed up in suits all the time and went to Broadway? That's not how it works anymore. You buy a ticket and there's literally tourists wearing sandals with socks
But
and
what about the
jeans
opera? Is the
and a
opera still expensive as
No,
shit?
that's what I'm saying. It's all not like that anymore. Literally there's people who still dress up. Like, for us, if we ever went, we would dress up and be nice and, like, go and do our thing. There's people who go to these plays that literally wear socks, sandals, a fucking Hawaiian shirt, or an I Love New York shirt and
New
watch these
York.
shows. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's overtaken by so much tourism, which is great because that's what keeps it alive. But, like, the tourists do not dress nice. Imagine Southerners who go on vacation that we know of. Imagine them going to New York to a Broadway but not changing a damn thing.
Yeah.
That's how it is. The tickets are not out the ass expensive anymore. They're about the price of a concert ticket. You got to realize it's not like I said, it's not the 1950s where everyone's in a fucking suit and their best get up to go watch something. People still do that, and people should still do that and treat it as, like, a nice outing, but people don't.
So let's look at top box office right now on
No,
Broadway.
we're not. I don't want to talk
No,
about.
I'm doing it because I need to know now.
It's like The Lion King. Lion King's always number one, but
Yes,
it's also
so
changed. Remember, it's also changed a little bit because of the pandemic. It was 2 years. It was like almost 2 years without any Broadway play. They just started back up.
some of these are like the
It's gonna be
the
like
exact ones you think they would
it's gonna be
be.
Lion King, Wicked,
Aladdin, Hamilton,
Music
Phantom of
Man.
the Opera.
Yeah, see, I would watch Phantom of the
But
Opera.
yeah,
I would love
Music
to watch Phantom of
Man
the Opera.
because
Yep.
Hugh Jackman's in it. I feel like
Yep.
that's the only reason it stays there.
Yeah, 'cause he just started.
Chicago.
Oh my god.
There's a new Harry Potter one.
Yes, you're looking at stuff that's, like, newer. The longest running Broadway show in history is The Lion King.
Yeah, I'm literally on the New York City website. I just went to the Broadway just to see what's playing right now. Like these are
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top
The
box
Music
office
Man
right now.
just started. The Music Man just started, and it's Hugh Jackman doing the rendition of the old Music Man musical. If you've never seen Music Man, guys, it's a very good musical. Anyways, enough talking about Broadway. I
Well,
didn't get to
anyway,
tell you what
I
my
said all of that to say that there's like this one that looks really cool.
What?
Um,
The Book of Mormon?
no, God no.
It's literally a joke show. Have you do you not know? You need to do
Yes,
some more research.
I know. It's the same thing when they did like Jesus Christ Superstar. I know it's not like actually about the religion. It's kind of
Yes,
shitting
thank
on it.
you.
I know.
Thank you.
But this one called A Strange Loop looks kind of cool.
Okay. I didn't get to tell you guys what kind of candy I would be because Tony went on a whole
Well,
Broadway
it's your fault.
debacle.
It's your fault.
It's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
So, guys, if I had to be any candy in the world, I would be a Milka bar, and I would be made by the
Milka.
best. I just said Milka bar.
Milk. Your
Milka
milk
bar.
bar.
Stop. And it is a German chocolate, and I'd be made by the best chocolatiers in the world. Because I'm awesome.
That's where you're going. That you're just gonna be a chocolate bar.
Yeah, but in different flavors. I don't have to just be
You
one
wouldn't be
thing.
a Jolly Rancher. You wouldn't be a Blow
No.
Pop. The things you eat all
No.
the time. Really? No.
No, I'd be a Milka bar and be handcrafted by some nice, insane, awesome German chocolatiers.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah,
Das ist gut.
that's good, yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying is like that's what I would be. Not an 83-year-old piece of candy.
I'd be an old piece of candy. Probably a Werther's original.
Piece of candy.
Piece of candy.
Piece of candy. All right,
Piece of
ready?
candy.
What if you had a tail?
Then I would achieve Super Saiyan 4.
I know that was gonna be your answer.
I would be able to finally obtain Great Ape form
Oh
and
my
be the
god.
king of all Saiyans.
How did I know that it was gonna be a
Something
fucking
anime related.
an anime related thing? I would be the devil girls from oh my god. Oh my god, Peter plop plop plop. My brain is going sideways. Hang on. Hang on.
Hot tail bitches. Is that what you're gonna Google?
Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time.
There you go.
I couldn't think of. I was like, it's Peter. I was gonna say Frill, but I would be the two devil girls from Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time that have the big jiggly boobies that are just trying to seduce everybody, and they just have a tail, and then they're pink. You've seen what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're cute. They're cute. They're very cute. They're
Das
nicely.
ist gut.
They're very nice little thingies.
Thingies.
Yeah, they're like little
They're like the actual incarnate of a nympho.
yeah, they're awesome.
Little
Mimi and
nymphatic.
Lisa. Yeah, Mimi and Lisa blackmail Peter into mating with them until they get pregnant.
Yep.
I would be,
Semen demons.
see, yeah, I would basically. That's basically what I'd be because they're very cute little characters. I wouldn't want to be like a animal of any type. I would just be
Which also,
a succubus.
yeah. Gorillas don't really have tails, so I don't know why
Did
they
you-
made great ape form have a tail.
Are you
know?
really down that rabbit hole now? Now you're like, what?
No, it's just like I'm thinking about it. Like gorillas don't have long tails at all.
Hmm.
Like I don't know why, but I just thought about it. I was like, wait, gorillas have like nub tails. They don't have tails.
They don't really have tails. I mean, they're like us. We don't really have tails. Sometimes you're born with a tail. There's people who
That's
have
true.
that,
That's true.
like a little turtle. But which technically, guys, it's not really a tail. It's just an elongated, part of your butt bone, which is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
But
Gorillas
gorillas not
100%
having
don't have
tails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they don't have tails. They just
Yeah, they
it's
don't even have like
basically
little,
just a
little doggy
thick,
nubs.
thick butt.
A big O. Are you looking at gorilla butts?
I sure am looking at gorilla butts. I literally
Gorilla
just typed
butts.
in gorilla tail and like they don't have tails like at all.
Some of these questions are so fucking lame. Do you want me to read you some of the lame
God.
questions that I'm like?
I
sticking to?
changed my mind. I would be a fucking gorilla.
You would be a gorilla.
I would be a gorilla. Fuck a giraffe, dude. A gorilla looks like it could grab a giraffe and just fucking yank it.
Would you be a silverback mountain gorilla? Because that's the best gorilla to be.
I don't know. Like
They're untouched by humans, and they're the biggest in the world.
probably
You don't-
then.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Sony
Actually, hold
switches,
on.
Sony switches his answer.
Hold on.
A silverback.
Hold on. Go look at Discord.
Oh God, I am looking.
I would be this one. I'd be that guy. Look at that ass.
Look at that thick dumpy.
Look at that ass. That's a big boy. He's
Yeah.
a thickums.
Yeah, you'd be a mountain.
Well,
You'd be a nice little thick boy, little furry thick boy. But I was saying some of these questions are so stupid. Can I read you some of the dumb questions that we're not going to talk or really talk about? Because they're what if questions, right?
yeah.
And imagine, what if you saw your zipper was down and people had noticed?
Oh, dude, that happens to me all the time.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a dumbass question.
Like that's literally
Dumbass
that happened to me this week.
That's a dumbass question.
Like I literally went on break and went to the bathroom and then, went back out and worked and stuff. And for like an hour after that break, I looked down and I was like, my zipper's been down this entire time.
Yeah, that's a really dumb question. Ready? And then some of these are like really stupid.
Okay.
Like they're all like some questions that people actually live with that have to think about. And I'm like, why would you ask it? Some of these are like bad questions. Like,
Yeah.
what if you only had 24 hours to live? Or what if you could choose how you died? Or what if you could change one thing about the person you love?
Okay.
Or what if
Shoot.
you could no. What if you died right now? You'd be dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this is, like,
what if you
dumb.
died right now? Then
I'd be dead. I
It's
couldn't
not a
answer
me
the
problem
question.
anymore. That's someone
Yeah.
else's problem.
So I'm saying it's like dumb questions. Okay, but I do have a funny question because I know you'd like this.
Okay.
Oh, where'd it go? Hang on. Oh my God, yeah, hang on, here's another dumb question. What if you lost your bathing suit while swimming? What would you do? Like, what? There's people who are answering that like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, you're also thinking a lot of these are probably like the blues in the bathing suit. I've had that happen in the ocean.
Yeah, I've had that happen literally going down a water slide.
Yeah,
It happens to most people. But yeah, the zipper was down. That one I thought was really funny. I'm like, oh no. my zipper's down. You know what I mean? Like people just
Yeah.
care too much. Oh, the other one was like, what if you noticed someone who came out of the toilet or came out of the bathroom and they had toilet paper on their shoe?
Those are stupid.
Scandalous. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm
Then
saying.
you
It's
just
like,
tell them, hey,
you
got
got
some
toilet paper on
paper.
your
I don't know
shoe.
why was that ever something that people would get all weird about? Like,
I get
do
why
they
was
not
that
know what
ever
the bathrooms in America look like?
not
Like,
even
they're
that,
just
but like
gross.
not even that, but like why was that such a common thing? Like there was always such a fear around it, like it would happen.
There was
It's like
always a gaff about it in like every show, and it's like
every
what?
80s movie, it's like, ha ha ha, you got toilet paper on your shoe. Like, you know what I don't fucking understand.
I don't know. There
Um,
was also that weird time where they were like, girls don't poop, so take
yeah.
that with a grain
You
of
know what
salt,
I
I
mean?
guess.
Okay, so this one's a little more nature-esque. What if you were a tree? What type of tree would you be? And what would you say to those who walk by you or animals that walk by you?
I would be a Japanese cherry blossom.
Oh, yeah, you're my cherry blossom, baby.
I would be a cherry blossom, or
Yeah, you would. You'd be a pretty twee.
I would be either that or a weeping willow, probably.
Yeah, I would see you more as a Japanese cherry blossom.
I like weeping willows because I think they're really pretty,
Yeah. So,
and they grow
so you
massive.
found your tree.
Or something crazy like a redwood. That'd be
So
or a sequoia cactus, or a
something that lives really long.
saguaro cactus. I said
Yeah.
sequoia cactus.
Okay, that's Native American Cherokee there. Good try. Um,
But yeah, probably like a saguaro cactus because they live to be like 200-300 years old, and they
yeah.
just sway in the wind, and they're giant and prickly, and no one can touch them. That's why.
Yes, no one can touch you and it's illegal and you get fined.
Yep, that's
Also true.
exactly why, because no one could touch me. That's the only reason
Okay,
why.
so you'd be a cherry blossom or you'd be a cactus basically.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are this tree
Okay.
and say hikers pass you by like you're in a national forest or something, they can't touch you, they just look at you and admire you, right?
Yes.
Or animals are passing you by, what would be the one phrase you would say?
You can only say one thing.
Yeah, one thing.
I don't know, because that fucks some people
What would
up.
you
If I
say?
just said
What
hello, dear traveler, and they just like lose their shit.
you could say it as many times as you want, but you could only say that one phrase. It's kind of like, like say they're on a quest, like you're in a quest in a game and you have like that one
I'm an
command that goes by.
NPC, and that's my one my
Yeah,
one line of
yeah.
dialogue.
You're an NPC tree. What would you say?
Hello, dear traveler. Do not fear, for I am the spirit of those who you have lost. So that way it would just
Oh,
completely throw people off. Like, what?
that's so cute. And then they collect like an item on
Yeah,
there.
and
They
then
get like
like
a little
they
potion.
would like, pour water on me or something like that. I'd like give them a reward or something.
That's funny. That's cute. That's cute. I like that. I like that.
What about you? What would you do?
I would be a balsam alpine fir
Nice.
in the middle of probably the Rocky Mountains. I think the Rocky Mountains are so fucking gorgeous. And I wouldn't be touched by any humans because I wouldn't technically be near any humans. I'd be in the middle of the forest, but I would be around a bunch of animals. And I would hope that I would have little bear cubs that would just crawl up on me and
Oh.
sit and take little naps. And I would have little mountain lions that would crawl up on me and take little naps. And lots of squirrels. And I'd want to have like a nest for birds that I could hold. And I would just be a supporter of the animals around me, right?
Yeah.
And if I could talk to them, I would just sing a song like off of Three Amigos where they go up to the burning bush and it's just singing songs the entire time. I would just be a little radio. Yeah. That'd
Yes.
be what I do. I just sing songs to the bear cubs and the mama bears. And I would also produce I would have a beehive too. I would also be holding a beehive. So bees would be making honey on me. Anything that the animals could use me for, I would do it without it like making me break down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would just be I would be like a sleeping chamber for animals. You know,
Yeah.
that would be what I would do with my if I could be an animal or an animal, if I could be a tree, that would I'd be some sort of pine for sure. I think I'd be a balsam alpine fir because those
Oh,
smell really
nice.
good. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have little fairies and elves and mystic creatures make a little nest of pine needles below me for their travels.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Okay, so speaking of animals, um, if you could talk to animals, what would you say or ask? Like if you know, Dr. Doolittle style.
Oh, I would just. There's a lot of stuff I would do. I would just talk to animals all the
You
time.
and Toe would be having so many conversations.
Yeah, me and Toe and me and Thena would be talking all the time.
Be insane. She wouldn't shut up. And all I hear on the other side is
Yep, pretty much.
that's yeah, and then you're just like, "Oh, really? That's insane. No way." And she's like
For those of you who don't know, we have 2 German Shepherds, and one of them loves to talk
she talks and it's insane. Like
all the time.
and it's not like howling. Like it's like screaming. Screaming at us
Yeah,
sometimes.
she just screeches.
Help! Pay attention to me. We mainly think she's just saying, "Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Hello,
Yeah,
I need attention." She's very much an attention
basically.
whore for sure. Okay, I've had this happen before. It's also kind of a dumb question, but I think it's funny. What if you
Okay.
used a public toilet and discovered there was no paper?
Oh, you just do the old. If there's anyone else in there, you just gotta ask, or
Which
you
is
just start reaching.
publicly crazy in a sense. To not only is like everyone like it's weird because like in ancient times everyone shit together no problem. Everyone had like conversations while pooping
Yeah, like
with
and
no walls.
privacy with going to the bathroom literally is. It's not that.
It's a
It's
luxury.
not that old of a thing, really.
Yeah, it's a luxury at this point for people. And when we use public restrooms, we treat it as like we have these walls up, individual stalls. No one can see me struggle that I'm trying to shit one out or enjoying my poop or being like, fuck, I need to really poop and it won't come. You know what I mean? Like it's it seems embarrassing in society now to ask the person next to you, "Hey, can I have some toilet paper?" But it also is the most humane thing ever in a sense of that humbles everyone around because it's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
literally
everyone
every
poops.
person on this planet has to shit at
Yeah,
some point.
has to defecate. It has to like there's no such thing. Um and it is like it's always to me when people ask, I find it funny because it is that sense of, oh, we're humans. Haha, yeah, here's some toilet paper. You know what I mean? Like it's always someone kind of shyly giggling when they're asking in
Yep.
a sense, being like, "Hey, I ran out of some toilet paper. Could you roll it up?"
Hey,
And you know
give me
what's the
some shit
worst?
tickets.
You know what? I feel like men always have it a little easier though, because you know they're poo poo pee pee buttholes all the time. They're like, ha, poo poo pee pee farts, ha ha ha.
Mhm.
Women are a little more shy with it, you know, in a sense. But I think it's always funny, like when they give you toilet paper, I always make sure to like overload them with toilet paper.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person having to ask twice.
Not even that, but imagine you were shitting your brains out and you were like having a horrible diarrhea and they hand you like a crumpled up thing, like, here you go, haha. And then everyone leaves and there's no one in the stalls next to you. What do? Do you get up
Uh, no,
and you
you
can't
just straight up start reaching.
no, say the stall, say you're in a stall, right?
Well, I guess I can start reaching because I've got really long arms.
Yeah, I'm tiny. Say you're in a middle stall and there's 4 stalls on each side of you, right?
Okay.
Say the stalls that are closest to you both run out of toilet paper. You run out of toilet paper. The one to your right runs out of toilet
Well,
paper.
you
The
then
one to
you're
your
just
left
gonna have
runs out of
to
paper.
do it. All
What
right.
do you
Or
do?
you're gonna say, all right, now's the time where we decide who the boys and who the men are. You pull them drawers up, you go out there and you either find some toilet paper in a different stall or you go and you fucking grab some paper towels out of the dispenser.
You would pull your entire pants up.
Yep.
You wouldn't just kind of put them to your knees and waddle a little bit.
No, I wouldn't be waddling with my dick out in the bathroom. Why would I
No
do
one's
that?
around.
Yeah,
So-
at that moment, but the very second you step out of that stall, 14 people are gonna come in all at once, and you're just gonna be sitting there, shitty ass and pee-pee hanging out. Tell me I'm wrong,
You're wrong.
because that's how
because-
timing. No, that's literally how timing in this
Yeah,
fucking
that's
world
true.
works.
For me,
Right when you think you're okay, I'm comfortable, I'm alone, and this is coming from someone who cannot pee in public. Can't do it.
yeah, it's true.
I get incredibly pee shy, so it's
I
literally
can.
the bathroom will go completely silent. You're like, okay, finally, I have a moment. I can concentrate. You start concentrating. 4 fucking people walking all at once. You're like, well, fuck it. I'll just pee later.
See, I can shit and pee wherever. I do not care. I don't
Either
care if
that or I have to
people are
go to a stall.
watching. I don't care if people are watching. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, it's your problem, not mine. Like,
It
I'm
really
being a
depends on
human.
my level of intoxication. I have found that out. It does depend on that.
For me, if I had empty stall next to me, empty stall to my left and my right, and an empty stall in front of it, I would just
Crawl under.
no, I would unlock my door, have my pants to my knees, kind of do a duck squat so my butt cheeks aren't gonna get poop everywhere, and then I would just scurry away.
Okay. I guess the real question is, how
would
are you getting shit everywhere? It's like a finite amount of room
Yeah,
that it moves, that it even touches. How
I
did
know,
you
I
get it all over
wouldn't.
your butt?
I wouldn't. I just meant in the crack area, right? I would just kind
You're
of.
gonna clean it. That's why I'm
Yes,
like,
I know.
why?
I know. Hang on. I would squat, duck waddle, and scurry my way to the nearest bathroom over, and then lock myself in there. Because that would be what I do. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, and hurry and do that. But the real actual question is, BYOW. Bring your own wipes,
Yes.
and then you never have that problem ever again.
Yes, that's my thing. I keep a thing of wipes with me.
Since this is America and there's not a goddamn bidet everywhere, unfortunately, because I fucking love bidets. If you guys aren't butt wipers, get yourself some wipes. Butt wipes are so nice.
Yeah, wipe your ass, nasties, because some of you be stanking.
Toilet paper sucks ass. Toilet paper really sucks.
Yeah, would you just wipe
butthole.
shit off your finger? No, you'd go wash your hands. So do the same for your butthole.
Like, especially public bathrooms. Public bathrooms in general, there's a lot of people who do not use the public restrooms.
Yeah,
And I
and
get it,
also
and
you
I
got
get it.
people, you got weirdos that like, ugh, just no.
I have stories. Anyways,
Yeah.
so, yeah, if you guys have never tried wipes, definitely recommend. Don't go buy you some baby wipes. Go buy
No, baby wipes suck. Buy actual
baby
adult
wipes. Yeah,
wipes.
baby wipes suck for
And they're
adults'
tiny.
butts.
They're tiny.
And
They're
they're
designed for baby
expensive
butts.
because they're also expensive because they're a baby product. Most baby products are expensive in general.
Yeah, so what
But-
you need to do is go get some just generic wipes or pro tip, get you some dude wipes. Because they are giant cloths. Like it's like a hand towel.
Dude wipes
size
are
total.
really big. They're really big, and they're also a little cheaper because they're a dude brand, since it's a male brand. So
They
yeah,
have
that's
like
why.
they've got little to-go ones. You can like only take like 10, throw them in your purse, your pocket, your jacket, whatever.
And you are
I
ready to
buy
spit
a
your brains
whole
out
ass
later.
pack of them and leave them in my work locker.
Yeah,
and
which
it's
is
great.
nice. So what I do, I buy Charmin wipes. They have like wet wipes, and they're great. They're fucking awesome. But if you do have old plumbing, please do not buy them because you will destroy
Also,
your pipes.
If you're using wipes, don't flush them down. Just don't flush them. Just get you a little trash can and just change it so often. It's not that hard. Don't
I
flush
mean,
your wipes down
well,
the toilet.
well, listen, time
they
out.
just go bad. They do bad things. They ruin your septic tank.
Hey,
not
that's
great.
for old pipes.
That's just in
Now
general.
No, that's for old pipes. Nowadays, the wipes are made to where they literally disintegrate in the tank. Like they literally
Supposed to.
come
They're
up.
supposed
No,
to.
they do now because they caused so many issues in the past. But that was because of people's old plumbings. But nowadays, you can wipe your butt with the wipes and flush them down the toilet, and they disintegrate as well. But anyway, so yeah, the wipes are fucking great. If you guys don't use them, do it. I have some in my purse, so anytime I gotta go take a shit in public at the bar or wherever I'm at, I don't gotta worry about that one ply sandpaper toilet paper. You know what I mean? I just get my wipes out and I'm like whoop whoop, and it's nice Leaves your butt feeling fresh so it can get ate later. Yeah. Sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Always remember, front to back, children, front to back.
Yes, if you are a lady.
Yeah,
No.
don't be a heathen. No, I think that's just it applies to everyone.
Imagine if your dude's wiping back to front.
Yeah, you get shitty nutsack. That's what can happen. And also, you got to think of the logistics of it. If you're wiping back to front, you have to straight up put your hand inside of the toilet to do that. To accomplish that,
technically, because you'd have to like scoop
start at
motion
that back
forward.
of your ass and wipe down. That's weird. No.
Oh my god! I'm thinking now. You said shitty nuts. That's all I can think of. Is like, oh my god.
Yeah, imagine all those dudes, and it not necessarily saying you get shit on them, but there would
People?
have to be a statistic of people wiping and just going, erratically about it, and just wiping and hitting the back of their nutsack with that shit paper.
People, next time you're gonna go suck a dick, you check those balls and make
You
sure
check
they're
those
not.
balls.
You make sure that those aren't shit balls. There's little poo-poo stains on your balls.
Gross. That would be disgusting.
I couldn't imagine like you're going to glock somebody and you're just like, oh, because most men you're used to them not wiping their ass good because they're fucking heathens.
Gross.
But imagine you're like, I'm gonna put my balls in his mouth, and you're like, oh fuck, he got shit stain on his balls.
That's gross.
That's why bidets. That's why America needs to become a fucking civilized country and put bidets goddamn everywhere. You shitting me? Literally, are you shitting my dick? Why do we not have bidets? I love bidets. Every time I'm overseas, I fucking put my butthole on those bidets, and I'm like, la 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 la, clean, 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 la 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 la.
Yeah.
And then you take one thing of toilet paper because they always have a little bit or a little cloth, and you pat your butt dry, or you just sit there for a minute. Some of the bidets are fancy and have little blow dryers.
Yeah, some of them have dryers.
But most are just water. But I'm saying you just little pat, 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 and you're done.
And see,
Literally.
I'm also that person that I can't just do that because there's the weird safety thing because I'm like, well, what if it didn't get everything? So then you just have to use just a little bit of toilet paper. It's it's almost like a
American instinctual
double
thing.
check. Yeah.
And that goes back to
American instinct.
I think about shitting in the woods and having to wipe my ass with leaves. I think about that a lot. And a lot of hunters know exactly what I'm talking about, or campers. You know what I mean? Before we were smart enough to because like I said, you don't want to bring toilet paper and leave the toilet paper in the forest because it's not degradable. It's not. Most toilet paper isn't. And you can't really unless you bring specific a shit bucket or you bring specific wipes with you that also have somewhere to go. You're trashing the forest and shit,
Yeah.
So it's honestly more compostable to wipe your ass with a leaf.
But honestly,
sort of
toilet paper itself is degradable, so that wouldn't really necessarily. That's not
in a sense, yeah. But you also don't want
animals eating it. I understand.
Yes, yeah. That's what I mean.
Why
Like
you're
it's not
supposed to
really
do
good
the
for
also saying thing. You're supposed to dig a hole. You're not supposed to just shit on the ground.
There's lots of people that just shit on the ground and just first leaf they see wipe. Which is also something you guys need to be careful of. Is not to wipe your ass with poison ivy or not wipe your ass with leaves that have bugs on it.
Yep.
Because what in the actual I think of
you get bugs in your butthole.
Ancient times and stuff. They had a system. They had a shitting log.
There was the shit log. There was
if you were in the middle, if you're in the middle of nowhere, if you were in a modern society,
He's talking about World War I.
No. I'm thinking of way before that. Say you're in a Roman society, more modern.
No. I was talking about the shit log. I know.
The shit log is Vikings times. That's what I'm
saying. The shit log is
Vikings
times, but a lot of people used it in wartime, so that way they weren't shitting where they were sleeping.
Yes, we know. But what I'm talking about is I find it fascinating that it's if you're in, say a Roman city, you're in a more sophisticated modern era at that time, you have benches with just holes in them that people just shit in. And it's like I said, you're talking to your friends while Jojo over there is going, ugh, that was a tough one. And then you have a normal fucking conversation. You know what I mean? Joe Bob over there is just like, oh, got that one out. How's the wife and family? You know? And then you have, like, if you're more in a rural area, you have it to where there's a log and you sit on the log and your butt kind of protrudes
Why are we
outwards.
still on this?
I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I was like, bathrooms are so fascinating in a
We just
sense.
went on like a whole 20-minute rant
Yeah,
about
and that's
bathrooms.
fine. I was just laughing and thinking about it because it's like we care for our privacy so much, yet we used to be just shitting in the woods like crazy or
Right.
shitting with other people right in front of us. And now you can't even talk about poop because people get uncomfortable, especially if you're a female. You get uncomfortable. People get so
I
uncomfortable.
think
Like,
that's changed with the
it's
addition of Twitter.
changing. It's
Twitter has definitely
changing.
changed that perception because you can't
Okay,
scroll
not even
without.
that. Not even that. I just meant society's changing. It's not like the 1950s, and Carol Sue can't be like, I gotta use the powder room. And she's in there taking a fat shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then she's like, I
I just
gotta
had to
just, I
powder
had to,
my nose,
I had to
yet you were
powder.
there for
Meanwhile, she's like,
3 minutes.
the shrimp pasta just went right through me. You know what I mean? She's on some fancy
Aggressive.
date. Yeah, she's on some fancy date with Joe Schmo over there. Just like,
You gotta stop with these names.
Mm.
Joe Schmo, Joe Bob, Becky Sue. It's the same ones. Use
exactly.
real people names.
Okay. Carl Withington III
There you go. That's
and
better.
his wife, Joanna Malkinus,
Malkinus.
is on a nice fancy date in the 1950s. She's wearing a beautiful little dress, hair all done, makeup on. He's in a
Okay,
nice
do we
suit and a
need?
hat.
Okay, I think the
She
audience
orders
gets it. We don't need to keep going on about shit.
she orders some shrimp pasta. I think that's a good place to stop. I really don't have any more funny questions at the moment. Kind of some of them
Well,
are
there
kind of
you go,
stupid, but
audience. You listened to 30 minutes of Conway ranting about shit.
it was not 30 minutes actually, maybe 15 at
We'll
most.
see. We'll see.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god. But yeah, hot damn. That was an interesting what ifs and then a rant about poop
Shit.
culture. Poop culture and the bathroom scenes. All because I asked a toilet paper question.
Yep, sure did.
Literally all because of a toilet paper question. Fascinating. We are fascinating humans. We get embarrassed by so like little things when you think about it in the grand scheme of stuff. Like humans get embarrassed so easily by human nature. Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
It really is like it doesn't, like I said, it could be sex, it could be bathroom talk, it could
Poo poo pee
be
pee.
yeah, it could be talking about relationships, talking about like acne or some like growths on your body or body changing or you know what I mean? Like it's anything that has to do with
Human.
humans in general, our societal stuff. You mix that in with modern day and it's like everyone's so embarrassed. It's so insane. And the progression is nice. We're some people are at least as embarrassed. But it's just really fascinating that there's things that you do not talk about, even though everyone in the world does. You know what I
Everybody
mean?
poops.
Not even just like I said, not even just poops, but it could be
I
about
know,
anything.
but
'Cause a lot
that's
of
a
people who have
book.
stuff.
It's
Yeah, it
funny.
is a book. Yeah, it is a book. But yeah, I find it that is it's truly fascinating. It's kind of weird. It's a very what does that say about us as humans then?
I don't know.
If, like if we're so easily embarrassed by human things.
Well, humans suck, so that's
Yeah,
a
we're
start.
we're a plague to the world. And that's where we're gonna end. Humans are a plague to the world. All
Nothing
of
is
mankind.
real. The gods
You
are a
said that
lie.
you literally said that last time. You were like, nothing's real, everything's a conspiracy. Bye.
Nothing is real. Your god isn't real. There's nothing in there. Everything is fake. We're all in a
Stop.
simulation.
Oh my god, stop. But yeah, I
Nothing
find
can save you.
stop. Oh my god. Stop. You're gonna give somebody an existential crisis today. Literally stop. But yeah, I find it insane that humans are embarrassed by human things and we're just one big fucking plague on this earth that has caused other animals and mammals and reptilians and amphibians that do the same things we do but in their own little worlds without our communications and we just think we are this We're
We
the
think
we're
we're the
the
bee's knees.
yeah, we think we are the bee's knees. We are so materialistic,
The bee's sneezes.
insane species is Homo sapiens. We think we
Beeshies.
are the species.
I know, but it sounded like you said beeshies.
Oh yeah, the Bee Gees. We're the Bee
The
Gees.
beeshies.
It's fascinating to me that we're just this weird
Yes.
species
Beeshies.
that stop. We are Homo sapiens that think we are the superior species, and that's so fucking weird to me to think because I'm like I could name 4 more types of animals that are way better than humans are
Yeah,
by
like
far.
silverback gorillas.
But yeah, it's what ifs
I
are
got gophers.
fascinating. What ifs are a fascinating topic in general because the
Keeps the
hypo
mind moving.
yeah, the hypothetical universe of what could be, what might be, what if it's a complex multi-dimension multi-layer.
Multiverse. The multiverse theory. We're back to conspiracies,
Stop.
boys and girls.
Stop. It's a multi-layered dynamic thing because it all depends on each person's perspective that's asking the question and or answering, right?
Correct. Because
So it
my
is
perspective of things and yours are vastly different, and like we're with each other 24/7.
yes, and that's what's also crazy is like everyone else is going to have different answers for everything and explanations for this and this and this.
Yeah, it's
But
part of the human experience.
it
Part
is.
of
It
the
is very
simulation.
much of that of how the individualism is so prominent that as humans we're more me instead of us. Because if it was more us, a lot of us would have a collective thing. So like, oh, I would be this type of tree because I'd be this and I could be saving the world if I was this type of tree. Because if we're all this tree, nothing could go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yep, I sure do.
You were like, I want to be a cactus so I can say hi to weird travelers. And I was like, I want to be a pine tree. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like we have, as humans, we want to, and I'm sure tons of other animals and species in this entire vast universe also do have and enjoy their own individuality. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like that's, as humans, that is our biggest downfall is individuality.
Yes.
Very much so. And it gets worse. As we talked about at the very beginning, is what it'd be like in 200 years. She's going to get worse from here.
It sure would.
And on that note, thank you for listening to another episode of the Ramblin'
The
Podcast.
Ramblin' Podcast.
We appreciate you listening and joining. Sony, what is our secret passcode this week?
I think we're gonna use the little demon emoji.
The demon emoji?
Yeah, because you said if you had a tail.
Okay. The little monster demon emoji.
Yeah, and I mean like there's a gorilla one.
Just monster demon emoji.
But the monster demon, I think so.
Monster demon emoji. All right. If you made this far, make sure to send us that or link it down in any of the comments wherever it's at. That'd be greatly appreciated. We know that you guys are listening and watching and made it this far. But on a note, we're going to end here, and we look forward to you guys listening into your ear holes as we talk to you every week, piercing your beautiful little tight little beautiful little tight ear holes,
Your little ear holes.
little dirty little fucking ear holes. Little dirty ear holes.
Slutty little ear holes.
You slutty little ear holes. All right, guys. I'm your host, Conway. Today. Oh wait, I can't do that yet. Sony, where can we find you?
Trying to end before asking me the most vital question.
Sony, where can we find you?
You can find me just about anywhere and everywhere at Stoney Robbins, and we've decided that I can't say an underscore anywhere anymore, so the underscore is at the end. It's at Stoney Robbins _
There we go.
What about
There we
you,
go.
Conway?
You can find me super easy on my socials, on my spicy bits, on my Twitch things. You can find it at conwaytitty.com. That is conwaytitty.com. It'll take you to all my links. You can find me there. Come hang out on the Twitch stream. Twitch. Come hang out. I live stream quite often, and you can see Stoney be a complete idiot with me too because he plays games, and we watch movies and hang out and do some weird shit there too.
Bondiferously.
Splendiferously. Oh god. Anyways, now I can end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Blah blah blah. Words are hard. Let's try again. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your host, Conway Titty.
And I'm your host, Sir Reginald Cornwall Wellington Shireton III.
And that was our episode. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye!